Episode 706 has arrived. A figure flashed ahead. Lord Grim vaulted straight over the stone wall and landed just a few paces in front of Wei Chen the warlock. Wei Chen, prepared for this, quickly conjured a ball of cursed light. He didn't aim it at Lord Grim, but sent a volley of them flying in a line, blocking his path. This was the binding curse. Wei Chen moved with practiced ease, a twisting black light shooting from his warlock's hand and racing straight toward Lord Grim. Lord Grim spun sharply, trying to dodge, but the black light twisted after him, as if alive.
Oh, hand-controlled, huh?
Yi Shu called out, rolling forward as the black light twisted its head and missed again. Wei Chen manipulated the controls again, sending black light coiling downward. Meanwhile, on the other side, a new incantation had already begun. 6 starlight prison, from the heavens to the earth, 6 pillars of light, dark with a tinge of purple, began to take shape, drifting around Lord Grim. Under Wei Chen's control, the moment Lord Grim touched one of those pillars, he'd be sealed tight by the 6-star light prison.
Someone's behind us.
Yi Shu shouted.
You think I'd fall for that?
Wei Chen dismissed it with a sneer.
There really is someone.
Yi Shu was still shouting.
There's a ghost in the machine.
Wei Chen kept up the contempt.
Here, there is a ghost. A blade ghost.
Yi Shu chuckled as a blue-white magic circle flashed beneath Wei Chen the warlock's feet, and an ice array materialized. Meanwhile, after scrolling aimlessly through the system messages, Chen Guo finally found something. System announcement. Player 1-inch Ash of the 10th server has completed the Heavenly Domain Challenge quest and entered the Heavenly Domain. 1-inch Ash, Chao Yifan. Chen Guo had never dealt with him directly, but she knew of his existence. Yi Shu had never tried to hide anything from Chen Guo and Tang Rou, the people he spent every day with. Chao Yifan might have been a nobody in the pro scene, but in the game world, he was an absolute top-tier expert. Chen Guo quickly searched for 1-inch Ash and saw that his level was 55. 1-inch Ash, who had fallen far behind during the Christmas event, had not only caught up, but was now half a level ahead of Yi Shu's Lord Grim. It was a situation that left even Yi Shu feeling a bit helpless. Levels 50 to 55. In the Heavenly Domain, you could only grind wild monsters. It was a real slog. Not like the normal zones, perfect quest chains, and at level 50, you get a full party dungeon. As long as players are willing to put in the time, leveling through this stage is lightning fast. Not just level 50, 55, 60, 65. Each of those level brackets had been the level cap during a past Glory update. To flesh out the game content during that era, the level cap naturally came with a wealth of dungeons for players to enjoy. Once leveling resumed, those dungeons instantly became treasure troves of experience. Chao Yifan was clearly leveling up while starting the Heavenly Domain Challenge quests from level 50 onward. After all, he was a pro player. The Heavenly Domain Challenge quests were nothing he couldn't handle. As for PK, Chao Yifan wasn't a newcomer like Tang Rou. He was a pro player after all. Going up against ordinary players above his level was a sure win. But with Yi Shu having gone before him, Chao Yifan's entry into the Heavenly Domain this time drew far less attention than Lord Grim's had. After all, 1-inch Ash had hit level 50. The normal zones gave him 0 experience. With nothing else to do, he had no choice but to focus entirely on the Heavenly Domain challenges. Spending day and night locked in focused combat in the arena like that, it would be hard not to attract attention. Chao Yifan, on the other hand, built himself up slowly, bit by bit. Day after day, he fought and won in the arena. No one suspected he was yet another player who had already begun the Heavenly Domain Challenge. Only after he completed the quest and entered the Heavenly Domain did the system broadcast finally drop, and that's when the 10th server truly erupted. Announcements from the Heavenly Domain were nothing new, but the fact that it came from the 10th server did catch people off guard. The highest on the 10th server's leveling board was only 58. Anyone who could enter the heavenly domain now was definitely a top-tier expert. The moment 1-inch Ash entered the heavenly domain, a crowd of curious onlookers immediately gathered. At the time, Yishu and Chenguo were busy, so they didn't notice that system message. Yishu knew because the moment Xiao Yifan reached the heavenly domain, he immediately came to pay his respects to his senior. Yishu immediately summoned him over as backup.
Damn it, you actually called for backup.
With 19 helpers in tow, Wei Chen bellowed with righteous indignation, leaving Chen Guo increasingly impressed by these top-tier players. The ice formation erupted, unleashing a relentless barrage of frost damage that immediately shattered Wei Chen's 6-light prison. But 1-inch Ash, after all, was too low-leveled. Under such level suppression, the freezing effect of the ice formation was completely resisted. Wei Chen had no idea who 1-inch Ash was. When he didn't get frozen, he just figured he'd gotten lucky. After all, that probability wasn't 100%, but after hastily leaping out of the ice formation and turning to get a look at 1-inch Ash's gear, he immediately saw through it. He wasn't a pro player who had to focus all his energy on competitive matches anymore. Spending every day immersed in the game, he was naturally very familiar with all kinds of equipment. He recognized at a glance that the blade in 1-inch Ash's hand was the level 55 Carno's sword. This sword was all the rage back in its day, but now, with the level cap, it's fallen out of favor. Even Lian Zhou Kuang wouldn't bring a level 55 weapon to a PK this important. With that thought, Wei Chen immediately clicked on 1-inch of light to check its stats. Level 55 was clear at a glance. With the level right there, he barely needed to look at the equipment. He already had a good idea of what this character could do.
So this is the big shot you went through all that trouble to summon.
Wei Chen was still laughing when a flash caught his eye. The mesmerizing gleam of the Kano sword was already upon him, though tinged with an eerie quality as it came from a ghost blade's hand.
Oh, impressive.
Wei Chen yelped and quickly dodged with his warlock, raising a hand to start an incantation, but 1-inch of light's next sword strike was already coming. The ghost blade and the warlock both wore cloth armor, but when it came to close quarters combat, the difference was night and day. Even in cloth armor, he was still a swordsman. As for warlocks, they were pure spellcasters, just like elementalists, who never wielded any weapons at all. Trapped in that inch-wide gap, Wei Chen's situation was already dire.
Ow, slow down.
Under the relentless slashes of 1-inch Ash's Cardo sword, Wei Chen's warlock dodged left and right in an ugly scramble, his mouth running with a spineless stream of complaints. Even if he screamed for mercy at this point, no one would find it out of place. But Wei Chen wasn't quite that spineless. After shouting himself hoarse with no sign of the other party letting up, what finally erupted from his throat was,
Help! Yi Fan, don't let your guard down. This guy will stop at nothing to get what he wants. The concept of going easy doesn't exist in his mind. Just focus on cutting him down. The faster, the better.
Yishu quickly moved to stop his noise, but he didn't step in to help, because the enemy had also arrived. Killing Wei Chen was critical, but with Ye Chu and Xiao Yifan's low-level characters, there simply wasn't enough time to take down a level 71. So the priority now was to stop Wei Chen from regrouping with his men. Ye Shu had no idea where he'd scraped together that ragtag bunch, but one thing was clear. They were nothing but a mob of amateurs. Without Wei Chen calling the shots, Lord Grimm might be low-level, but Ye Shu was confident he could pick them off one by one.
Damn it, Yi Chu, you shameless bastard. I retired from the game years ago. A real hero doesn't brag about past glories. If you want to talk about shamelessness and hitting below the belt, you should be the one introducing yourself. Don't go around falsely accusing an honest man.
Wei Chen's righteous tirade didn't get a single reaction from Ye Shu. More importantly, the ghost blade in front of them wasn't thrown off by the words either. If anything, after hearing Ye Shu's call to hurry up, the ghost blade's attacks only grew more vicious.